Decades after his passing, Harry H. Corbett's legacy continues to captivate audiences and spark curiosity. Best known for his iconic role as Harold Steptoe, Corbett's life off-screen remained shrouded in mystery and speculation. Rumors about his true feelings towards Steptoe and Son, his relationship with co-star Wilfrid Bramble, and the impact of fame on his personal life have persisted for years. Now, in a revealing twist, Harry's daughter, Susanna Corbett, steps forward to address these long-standing whispers. The rise of Harry H. Corbett. In the bustling city of Rangoon, Burma, on a warm February day in 1925, a child was born who would one day become a household name in British comedy. Harry H. Corbett entered the world as the youngest of 7, born to a British Army quartermaster sergeant stationed in the colonial outpost. But fate had other plans for young Harry, and his life soon took a dramatic turn. His mother, Caroline Emily, succumbed to dysentery when Harry was merely 18 months old. In the wake of this loss, Harry was sent across the seas to England, where he was raised by his aunt, Annie Williams. The streets of Ardwick, Manchester became his new home, a far cry from the tropical climate of his birthplace. Growing up in the working-class neighborhoods of Manchester during the 1930s, Harry's childhood was marked by the stark realities of economic hardship and the looming shadow of war. Despite passing the scholarship exam for Charlton Grammar School, circumstances prevented him from taking his place there. Instead, he attended Sharston Secondary School, where his quick wit and natural charm began to shine through. As the world plunged into World War II, Harry, like many young men of his generation, answered the call to arms. He enlisted in the Royal Marines, trading the familiar streets of Manchester for the uncertainty of global conflict. Serving in the Home Fleet aboard the heavy cruiser HMS Devonshire, Harry's experiences shaped him profoundly. He experienced hand-to-hand combat in New Guinea, which later influenced his acting abilities. After the war, he briefly stayed in Australia before returning to England. He initially trained as a radiographer, but ultimately pursued acting. His journey began at Charlton Repertory Theatre, and he later joined Joan Littlewood's theatre workshop, immersing himself in the Stanislavski system of acting. As the 50s progressed, Harry began to make inroads into the world of film and television. He added the middle initial H to his name to distinguish himself from the popular children's entertainer Harry Corbett, known for his puppet Sooty. Harry's breakthrough came in 1962 when he was cast in a one-off BBC comedy show called The Offer. Written by Ray Galton and Alan Simpsons, the masterminds behind Hancock's Half Hour, the show featured Harry as Harold Steptoe, a rag-and-bone man trapped in a love-hate relationship with his elderly father. The chemistry between Harry and co-star Wilfrid Bramble was electric, catching the attention of BBC executives. As Steptoe and Son took off, Harry found himself catapulted into the spotlight. The show's popularity soared, regularly attracting audiences of over 20 million viewers. Harry's portrayal of the aspirational but perpetually frustrated Harold Steptoe became iconic, capturing the imagination of a nation on the cusp of social change. The man behind Harold Steptoe. Behind the grimy facade of Steptoe's junkyard, Harry H. Corbett led a life as complex and as nuanced as the characters he played. While the public knew him as the perennially frustrated Harold Steptoe, Corbett's personal life painted a picture of a man grappling with the pressures of fame, family responsibilities, and his own artistic aspirations. Corbett's family life was marked by joy and turbulence. His first marriage to Sheila Stiefel, an actress he met during his time at Joan Littlewood's theatre workshop, ended in divorce in 1964, just as Steptoe and Son was catapulting him to nationwide fame. But love found Corbett again. In 1969, he married Maureen Blott, an actress and dancer. This union brought stability to Corbett's life and resulted in the birth of 2 children, Susanna and Jonathan. Corbett embraced fatherhood with enthusiasm, often describing his children as his greatest achievement. Despite the demands of his career, he strived to be a present and loving father. Corbett's fame and success from Steptoe and Son brought him financial security and gratitude, but he also felt limited by being typecast. Despite his attempts to break away from his sitcom persona, he faced skepticism. The pressures of fame led him to turn to alcohol as a coping mechanism, and the physical demands of his role took a toll on his health as well, causing back problems and other ailments. As Steptoe and Son was drawing to a close, Corbett faced a significant health scare. He suffered a heart attack, a stark reminder of the toll his lifestyle and career had taken on his body. The health crisis served as a wake-up call for Corbett, prompting him to reassess his priorities and make changes to his lifestyle. Following his recovery, Corbett made efforts to lead a healthier life. He cut back on his drinking, tried to manage his stress better, and became more selective about the roles he took on. But his health remained a concern for the rest of his life. Despite these challenges, Corbett continued to work in the entertainment industry. He took on roles in various television shows and films, though none matched the success of Steptoe and Son. In his later years, he seemed to find a measure of peace with his legacy as Harold Steptoe. While he never fully escaped the shadow of his most famous role, he came to appreciate the joy and laughter he had brought to millions of viewers. He focused on his family life, enjoying time with his wife Maureen and watching his children grow. Debunking the myths.
We were quite rural. We had 3 donkeys. Dad was working on the show and he was chatting to the animal handler who said, "I've got a donkey that needs rehoming. It's retiring from a life in show business. It'd been carrying Jesus, Mary and Joseph." And he said, "Yeah, we'll have it." He rang Mum and said, "Donkey? Yeah, that's great." He rang 5 minutes later and said, "It's got a friend." She went, "Yeah, it's all right, 2's fine." And 5 minutes later, phone goes again, "The friend's got a foal." "Yeah, 3 will do." So we had donkeys.
In the years following Harry's death, a web of myths and misconceptions grew around the actor and his most famous role. These myths, perpetuated by media narratives and popular culture, threatened to overshadow the true legacy of the man behind Harold Steptoe. It was in this context that Susanna Corbett, Harry's daughter, felt compelled to set the record straight and reveal the truth about her father's life and career. Susanna's motivations for writing her father's biography were deeply personal and driven by a desire to reclaim his narrative. She had witnessed firsthand the disconnect between the public perception of her father and the man she knew. Susanna was acutely aware of the toll that these misconceptions had taken on her family. The rumors about her father's supposed hatred for Steptoe and Son and his alleged feud with co-star Wilfrid Bramble had cast a long shadow over Harry's legacy. Susanna felt a responsibility to not only honor her father's memory, but to also provide an accurate account of an important figure in British entertainment. The BBC biopic The Curse of Steptoe sparked controversy over its portrayal of Harry Corbett. The program took liberties with facts of Corbett's life, depicting him as bitter and trapped in a toxic relationship with his co-star. This upset Susanna and the Corbett family. Through her research, she found that Harry's feelings towards Steptoe and Son were more nuanced than portrayed, with early excitement about the role turning into frustration with typecasting. She also sought to paint a more holistic picture of her father. She revealed a man who, like many actors, grappled with the double-edged sword of success. He was proud of his achievements with Steptoe and Son, while also yearning for opportunities to showcase his full range as an actor. Now it's time to hear from you. If Harry H. Corbett were alive today, how might he view the current landscape of British comedy? What roles could you imagine him taking on? Let us know in the comments section below.